बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। अस्सलाम वालेकुम। उम्मीद है आप सब खैरियत से होंगे। आज की वीडियो का टॉपिक है एजुकेशन, एटिमोलॉजिकल मीनिंग ऑफ एजुकेशन, कंसेप्ट ऑफ एजुकेशन, इंडियन एंड वेस्टर्न कंसेप्ट, नैरो एंड ब्रॉडर कंसेप्ट, मॉडर्न कंसेप्ट, education as a bipolar process, education as a tripolar process, functions of education, general functions, functions in human life, functions in national life, individual aims of education. Etymological concept of education. The word education is derived from Latin word educare, educatum, which means to learn, to know, and to lead out. That is, education means to lead out internal hidden talent of a child or a person. Education, to bring up, to nourish. Educate, to lead out or to draw out. Educate, letter E means out and duco means to lead. Educatum, the act of teaching or training. Rig Veda, education is that which makes a man self-reliant and selfless. Upanishads, education is that whose end product is salvation. Kautilya's, education means training for the country and love for the nation. Gandhi's, by education I mean all round drawing out of the best in child and man, body, mind, and spirit. Zakir Hussain, education is the work of the whole life. It begins from the time of birth and continues till last moment of death. Then Western concept, narrow concept of education. SS McCusinia. In narrow sense, education may be taken to mean any concisely directed effort to develop and cultivate our powers. Professor Drever. Education is a process in which and by which knowledge, character, and behavior of the young are shaped and molded. Education in the narrow sense is regarded as equivalent to the instructions. It consists of the specific influences concisely designed in a school or in a college or in an institution to bring in the development and growth of the child. Broader concept of education, Jimmel Weil. Education in its widest sense includes all the influences which act upon any individual during his passage from cradle to the grave. John Dewey. Education in its broadest sense is the means of the social continuation. Education in the widest sense is a lifelong process. It begins with the birth of the child and ends with his death. It is the continuation process. Continuously, it's the law of life. Education is not limited to the classroom only, it is also not limited to the particular period of life. All round development. Then, modern concept of education. Education to head, heart, hand, health. What is the modern concept of education? Modern concept of education is learn centered. The learning occupies the central place in the education process. Modern concept of education means to develop the inherent capacities of the learner in the social environment in the best possible manner. Old curriculum was subject centered, whereas the modern concept of curriculum is activity centered. Because it emphasizes the development of total personality, physical, intellectual, emotional, social aspects of personality of the people. The old method emphasized on the rote learning, but the modern methods of teaching include play-paying method, learning by doing, learned by experience, project method. School was the only agency of education in the old concept, but according to the modern concept of education, all formal and informal agencies are the best of education. This is education as the bipolar process, teacher and pupil. Education teacher, people, social environment. Thank you so much.